All right, y'all. What's up? I think we are recording now. Y'all see what we're here for. The Challenge USA Season 2, Episode 1. Let's go ahead and get on into it. It was a pretty solid episode. You see the title. You know why we're here. Thumbs up the video. Drop the comments down below. If you are new here, please subscribe. Thumbs up the video. And yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's get on into it. So we get to the challenge. They do their whole little introductions and stuff. The first one they introduce is Paulie. Paulie is back. He has not been on the challenge. He ain't been on TV in a long time. I think his last season was War of the Worlds 2, which I want to say was like 4 or 5 years ago. He's a self-proclaimed beast coming back, claiming that he's coming back to get his Super Bowl ring because he's been in so many finals and has not gotten it done. Paulie, I'm excited to see him back because Paulie's entertaining in terms of just doing stuff just to actually make the show entertaining. He's going to do that, hopefully. When I say hopefully, I'll elaborate more on that later on. But he's back. He wants to win, so that's where that is. We get Sebastian from Survivor. He's pretty much talking about how he manifested him being on the challenge, so he's excited to be there. Michele from Survivor, the challenge. She wants to prove that she can actually get far in the game. She's played the game a couple times and has gotten like midway through, not all the way through. So this is her chance to redeem that. Paulie and Josh, they end up seeing each other start talking because they have not seen each other, according to Paulie, in 4 years. As we know, if you've watched the show before, they're not fans of each other. At least we're not fans of each other at that moment in time whenever they last played the game together. Paulie was talking about how he was looking at Josh as if he was a little brother to him, just for him to end up aligning with people that was trying to get him out of the house, aka getting him and Car out of the house. And he's saying like he don't know if he want to hug him or if he wants to rip him off. Hopefully he wants to rip him because like we don't need this kumbaya shit. Like if you on that, stay at home. Because that's what makes the main show, boring because it's not the same as it used to be, like where it was two opposing sides and people just didn't like each other and they stayed not liking each other. These people in here, you could tell they just be beefing for the fact of just being on TV. But that's what that is. We meet the Amazing Race dudes. Not much to really talk about with them. They all ended up gathering all together. And this is the whole cast. They ended up gathering, well, not the whole cast, but the CBS cast members, which is Survivor, Big Brother, Challenge USA's. So they all meet TJ on the dock. He welcomes them to Croatia and pretty much tells them that a man and a woman at the end of the game is going to win and they're going to split $500,000. So one man's going to get $250K, the woman's going to get $250K. So if they win, that's what's going to happen. The season's going to be played in teams, which I'm assuming might possibly be for a certain period of time. We'll see. But as of now, it's teams, and they're going to select those teams now. So TJ puts names in a hopper, which is like the little the wheel that if you put like a gerbil on a wheel, that's what it reminded me of. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is, but that's what it reminded me of. And he's going to select 3 names out of the people that are standing there in front of them, and they're going to be the captains. Josh is the first name that he selects. Whack. Cassidy of Survivor, she's the next name. She's excited because she was runner-up on her season of Survivor. I didn't watch her season. Her season was like one of the recent seasons. I think it was last year. Didn't watch her season, but she said that she played a safe game, which is what led to her not winning. So she's excited to play the game and actually play it hard this time to hopefully win. And then we got my girl, the finest woman on that show, Desi. She is the 3rd name picked. Obviously, she's back. She's ready to come back and win because she got cheated out of her very likely win last season on USA. And of course, she's from Survivor originally. So she's excited to kind of get her get back. Like she's trying to get her win because she got cheated out of it. So TJ then tells them that he has one more surprise for them, and in comes on some jet skis of the MTV People. So you got Cory. I'm excited about Cory back. Amanda, I'm excited about her back. Wes, I'm excited about him back. Jonna, I'm excited about her back. Bananas, get out. Tori, get out. But that's who came on them jet skis. Ameerah talking about she don't really have nobody that she coming into this with because she don't really like nobody. She don't like Tori and she don't like Michele. And Michelle's not happy to see her because she pretty much got on her bad side the last time they played the game together, because at that time, Fessy and Amanda were fooling around. And then when Amanda, I think when she left was when Michelle started fooling around. But regardless, Michelle was fooling around after Amanda had been fooling around with Fessy. So that's where their beef started. Cory's back. He's been in numerous finals. He's more confident in his game this season. Well, not even just this season, but since he's returned, you can tell he's getting a lot better in terms of how to play the game. He's an athlete. He played sports. I think he played football for Michigan. So in terms of that, he's got that. It's just the mental aspects, the strategy, which he's gotten better at. I feel like he definitely has done better, especially the last season that he was on, I think was when he was second place with Cam, which I wanted them to win so bad. But he's back and he's excited to possibly get a win. That's what he's trying to do. Jonna is back, back-to-back champ from All-Stars. She knows nobody wants her in that final because if she is in that final, she is going to win. So she already knows that she got that target on her back. So we get to the picking. Josh chooses first. He chooses Jonna, smart pick. Cassidy chooses Cory, smart pick. Desi chooses Wes, smart pick. So then I'm going to go through the line. Josh chooses Paulie because he wants to keep his enemy closer instead of having him away. And this is, I don't even like Josh, but his thought process with picking Paulie made sense and it's smart because he wants to have him on his side so that he's not rallying votes to get him out, even though he probably still can do that. But I see where he was coming from. Cassidy ends up choosing Tori's whack ass because she won. Desi ends up choosing Michaela. Those are my two girls. I'm glad they're on each other's team. Josh chooses Michelle, Cassidy, Fessy. Desi chooses Kunti, aka Monte. Josh chooses Dusty. Cassidy chooses the airhead Alyssa, her head looks like a hot air balloon. Chooses her. I'm not a fan of her. Desi chooses Ameerah. Josh chooses Chanelle. Cassidy chooses Sebastian. Desi, Tyler. Josh chooses Bananas. Trying to keep him on that team too. Same reason as Paulie. Cassidy chooses Alyssa from season 24. Desi gets Amanda. Smart. Josh gets Tiffany. I was like, why they got Tiffany as the last woman getting picked? And she was looking like really like, what's up? Cassidy chooses Chris and Desi gets Luis. So that's all the teams. Josh's team is the red team. Cassidy's team is the blue team. And Desi's team is the green team. So those are the teams going into the first mission. So TJ sends them to the house. So they go to the house, run through, doing like they normally do, trying to find the rooms or whatever. Chanelle ends up getting introduced, talking about how she was remembered for being a risk taker on her season, which she was. And you see Amanda telling Tori to sleep with your eyes open. Like she was warning her and she was laughing at it while she was saying it. Tori knows Amanda's not your fan and she should know better to not be paying attention to Amanda because Amanda gonna get her out if she can. Because Amanda don't like her and rightfully so. Fessy ends up noticing his track record with the women in the house. He's got plenty of girls that he's been involved with. Amanda, Tori, Michele, the list goes on. He's moved on. He hopes that they stay in a normal state of mind and not fuck up his game. So that's just where he is with that. But that's why you don't piss. What's the saying? You don't piss where you sleep or something like that. I forget what it is, but you know what I'm trying to say. But Ameerah starts talking about her reputation of being a shark in the game and being direct. Coming in with Monte and Alyssa, hoping that they stick together because she feels like if they stick together, they can make some damage in the game. I don't know what type of damage you think you're going to make with them two. Like, what do you think? And then it's only three of y'all. What damage are y'all going to do? Unless you grab some other people. But the way she said it was like the three of them was going to be able to steamroll through. I'm like, come on, Ameerah, wake up. Next, we get Paulie, Michele, and Jonna. They sitting there kind of like brainstorming, trying to figure out like, Paulie, you on the team with Bananas and you on the team with Josh, two people that you notoriously do not like. How are we going to make this work? Like, are you really going to get along with these people? And Paulie's like, let's hope like we can do that just for the sake of the team. Me personally, I don't want them to get along. Like, I don't. Getting along with people that you've notoriously been in beefs with, that's not good TV. We want to see that. That's what makes the show entertaining, especially with Paulie. Paulie was the type back in the previous seasons, he will sabotage his team. I want you to sabotage your team. That's what I want to see. But we get the next scene. Josh is sitting there toasting, talking about how he's lucky and excited to compete with them, like trying to be some top. Like you could tell him being on numerous shows, it's starting to get to his head. He feels like he's some like big shot shit. Like you're not. You have yet to make a final, and you got people on the seasons that you should have made a final with. Like you got so many people that's in your corner, and you are protected on all ends, and you still can't get it done because you're goofy. You're not athletic. Like Josh thinks he is like some top dog, and it's just not that. It's not giving that. But Tyler is excited. He's excited to compete again, getting to compete on the show. He's fresh out of his relationship with Angela. He's seeing some temptation, aka Alyssa. He's claiming that he's not going to feed into it, which we know he's going to end up feeding into it because we saw it in the previews. But Tyler, like I said, I'm gonna give him a clean slate because that dude ain't done nothing to me, even though I know what his track record is, and it's just like, ugh, but whatever. So they start heading to the first daily mission, and they notice that there's statues of Wes, Amanda, and all the MTV people. And that's what it is. TJ lets them know the challenge is called Storm the Castle. And there's 6 statues representing the great challengers. And that is subjective because there's some there that I don't think are great. But it's the 6 MTV people. So they have to race to their statue, carry it all the way up the castle ruins. On the way, they're going to see some signs with some symbols, which they have to memorize and remember because there's going to be puzzles. And the team that completes it first, and you have to complete the puzzle too in order to move on. And the team that completes it first gets to the top, they win. And the whole team will be safe if that team wins, and they will have to select 2 players from either losing team. It could be 2 from a team, at least I think it can be. It can be 2 from one team, or it can be one or the other. And those 2 people will be at risk for elimination. So Desi is confident because she feels like a lot of those teams are lacking in terms of like the mix of both brain and brawn, and she has that on her team. So Michaela is holding the statue as they're all running off to go get it. And I'm just blazing through this one because Michaela was holding the statue, like she's holding the statue forward. And I believe she had Monte and Wes with her, I think. And then Ameerah was with her too, but Ameerah is running in front and not doing nothing, not helping carry anything. She's just running to look for signs, which I thought was stupid because Amanda was doing the same thing, and she was claiming Amanda was doing that with her, but Amanda was actually holding the statue. So I'm like, what are you talking about? But that really didn't matter later on. But the green team gets to the first checkpoint first. Blue comes next, then it is red. Red ends up finishing first. Blue was next, and then green, and they take off. Green ends up getting stuck, like losing their lead completely at this point. The other teams are off. The blue and the red team are neck and neck at one point. The red team ends up dropping their statue, which then has both of those 2 teams kind of like discombobulated. And then the green teams ends up passing them. And it's funny because they literally was switching who was in the lead the whole time, which was crazy. But the next scene we get Jonna. She's noticing that Dusty, he's not holding his weight. Like he's looking like the weak link on their team. The green team ends up getting to the next puzzle first. Amanda ends up taking charge, but it's not working out. Desi's realizing that, like, she's like, after a couple tries, we keep getting them wrong. And Amanda's clearly not understanding what she's thinking she is doing. But they end up losing their lead again. The blue team ends up getting to the puzzle. They get it done. Red team, it gets there and they finish it first. Blue ends up leaving after them. Green is still sitting back there in last. The blue team ends up getting to the top first. They ended up winning. The blue team is safe. The whole blue team is safe, and they have to go back to the house and choose 1 man and 1 woman from either losing team to be at risk for elimination. Michaela is like, it better not be me because the last time she played, she was the first girl to go home, which was crazy because Michaela is essentially, in my opinion, the strongest female athlete on this season. And then Desi is right there behind her. But Michaela, in my opinion, you watching how she was running and pushing that thing today, you see, like, that girl ain't nothing to play with. So when she went home the first time, even though it wasn't due to her, honestly, on that original season that she was on for the challenge, Michaela ain't somebody you want to see in them eliminations. That's all I'm going to say. But she making sure she ain't one of them names that ends up being in jeopardy. So they will go back, and TJ then tells them as well that they're going to vote in secret, which is going to be entertaining. And I like the fact that they're doing that, even though later on we're going to find out some more information. I'll talk to that later. But the next scene, we get Amanda. She's loving the fact that it's going to be secret because people could take bigger risks. She's going to shoot her shot every time. We know she will. Amanda don't care. She's going to do what she needs to do, regardless if that shows her hand or not. Josh is already irritating me, sitting here trying to talk to the MTV people, talking about protecting each other so they can control the game. That is why nobody likes watching the main show anymore, because y'all have y'all's group that comes every single season. Y'all protect each other the whole time, and y'all literally sit here and steamroll everybody every single time. And we get every single season with the last bit of y'all always at the end, and then y'all want to share money at the end of the challenge. That's another thing. I hope to God that with this season, they ain't sharing no money. The last 2 seasons, they shared money. Like, what are you doing? You spent 3 months fighting and you're going to share the money that you won? Could not be me. Could not be me. I'm winning it. And when I win, I'm taking it all. Like, I would be Ashley and Bananas, and I would not care at all. I don't care who got a problem with it. I don't care what people watching the show want to hate, tweet me, hate, do whatever. I'm taking the money and I'm going. But that's what Josh is doing, trying to get the teams to pretty much like the MTV people to look out for each other. Boring. The blue team ends up heading into deliberation to go ahead and nominate, or at least figure out who to nominate. Tori ends up trying to take charge, making sure nobody's voting for the challenge veterans. Cory is saying that they should probably vote one for each team. So it kind of just, it doesn't look like we're targeting everybody at one time. Tori's sitting there talking about how Josh is saying that he's looking out for each other, telling them, essentially trying to play like, Josh is saying this. I don't know how he's doing it, but I feel like we should do what he's doing because he's saying he might have our back. Just kind of like throwing a rock and hiding her hand at that point, trying to act like she's trying to help and look out for their best interests when she's really looking out for the MTV people. Airhead Alyssa is realizing this. She's not trying to suck up to the vets. I don't like her at all, but I respect the fact that she was not trying to play that game and was peeping the fact that that's what they were doing. Alyssa S, which is Big Brother 24, Alyssa is realizing that the green team is the one that is at jeopardy because they're now talking about Ameerah, they're talking about Monte, which are the 2 people that she comes into the game with. So Ameerah's a high target. Alyssa don't want it. Cassidy said the other 3 are strong, aka Desi, Michaela, and Amanda. So she don't want to vote for them because she knows it's a possibility they're gonna come back. So Ameerah's looking like the high target. And that's what it ends up being. Luis and Ameerah, they end up getting the most votes. Alyssa Airhead voted for Michaela, which I'm like, you need to keep her name out your mouth because she ain't going nowhere. And you need to keep her name out your mouth, and you need to keep Desi's name out your mouth. Those are the 2 I don't want to hear. The next scene we get, everybody seeing that Luis and Ameerah, those are the 2 votes that are going in. Wes is happy that he's not up there, but he realizes, he's like, y'all stupid. Like, y'all need to be coming for us. Like, we are the ones that you need to come for. We played too many times. Alyssa's sitting there crying about being outvoted. Ameerah sitting there calling them a bunch of punks, which they are. And Michaela was saying, like, she's sitting there, like, bigging her up, like, look, we got your back. Just keep your posture up. Like, come on, let's go. Get ready to go in here and win. So that's where they at. Josh is sitting there talking about how he's trying to vote for a male green team member, aka Monte, to weaken the team. Michelle sitting there objecting. Jonna's not liking that. She's noticing that. Like, Michelle is like the bad apple. She's gonna be the one that's trying not to. She's realizing Michelle's gonna be the one that has her own ulterior motives, and she's playing for herself, which you can't be mad at, because that would be me. Like, if it's not a good move for me, I'm not gonna do it. And that's what Michelle's thinking in that moment. But Jonna's remembering, like, her and Wes came into the game together, and Wes already done pretty much tipped her off about Michelle, like, watch her, because she a sniper from the side. Then the secret vote happens. That's what happens. Ameerah ends up voting for Bananas because she said she ain't playing the vets game. Respect it. Amanda ended up voting for, which I assume to be Michelle. Jonna was saying that she was not supposed to vote for anybody on her team, but she did it because she felt like somebody on that team was going to affect her game. And I'm assuming it's Michelle, but we didn't see. But they ended up heading out to elimination. They get in there. They're in the arena. That's what the elimination is called this season. Ameerah and Luis, they come out. They're the two at risk, so they're going to be in elimination. They use the secret vote hopper thing to figure out who's going to be going in with them. Now, TJ reveals that we're going to see how many people got votes and who got votes. We're just not going to see who did the voting, but we're going to say who did the vote or who got the votes, who got what amount of votes. So Wes got 2, Dusty got 2, Desi got 1. That was a shock to me. I want to know who did that. Michele, which I can't be mad at though, because Desi, she a strong girl. Like, she's somebody that you should want out because you're not gonna beat her. Michele got 3, Monte got 4, and Bananas got 4. Michele is noticing that the numbers are just not adding up because they already done talked about it, and she in her mind it should be 8 and 8 instead of 9 and 7. So she's noticing somebody done did something different. She said somebody done snaked her, and she feel like somebody on the red team. So she feel like she got a rat on her team. But we get the cliffhanger, and that's just pretty much what it is. Next week, not next week, actually, it's on Sunday. Sunday, we're going to find out who's going into elimination. We're going to see that in the rest of the episode. And I flew through this because I'm tired. I'm sorry. I was talking like a motor mouth, but hopefully the rest of the season, I'll be able to kind of like slow it down. But let me know what y'all thought about the first episode, what y'all thought, who y'all think is going in, and who y'all think is going to win. Let me know. Follow me on my socials. I be live tweeting when it happens. So if you want to talk to me then and then catch up with me later, that's where you can find me. But thank y'all again. Thumbs up, drop the comments, subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see y'all on Sunday. Peace.